next category is economic growth and competitiveness. Everything I have said cannot be done if your economy is not growing. Your economy has to grow. The African Union, when they were looking at their vision 2050, 2060, their recommendation is that if African countries want to advance, they have to grow at about 7% or so under NEPAD. We need to grow fast. But the growth has to be real. When they were bluffing that we were growing at 21%, those of us who are good economists knew that that was just for that year. That's why suddenly you export a lot of iron ore this year, boom, you start advertising that you are the fastest growing economy. You're building sandcastles in the air. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. So to anchor our economy, we need economic diversification. We have seen the danger of depending on iron ore alone. When iron ore prices crashed, till now we're in the bottom, right? So we have to diversify. Agribusiness, investing in our farmers, but all the supply chain up to marketing. We got to do that. Tourism, but also the digital economy. I want you to be like the Kenyans and the Ghanaians. Now they're investing in IT systems. Their children are making software for American companies. That's brain power. The good news, one of our Sierra Leoneans who graduated last year from MIT, David Sengen, is one of the lead researchers in Kenya. I met him at MIT when I went to the lecture. I was so proud that one of the top students in engineering was a Sierra Leonean, David Sengen. He is now helping Kenya. A man, I said to myself, great, he's learning a lot with IBM now leading in Kenya. When I win, I bring a man like that to say, David, tell IBM to come here, so that our Sierra Leoneans will create the new technologies for them. That's investing in the digital economy. We also have to invest in what we call the creative industries. One of the good things that President Kaba did was to encourage our local artists. It's really great to go to parties in Europe and America, and for 5 hours, the only thing they play is Sierra Leonean music. Any genre, reggae, calypso, R&B, and of course our own typical music here. Our artists are in all of those genres. So yes, we have to invest in the creative industries. A good policy on the music industry, but helping them now go digital. We got to do it. Yes. So our one and only Cow Dinero, famous, Emerson and others, they can even go global bigger. We got to invest in them. So I talked about economic diversification there. Agribusiness, tourism, the digital economy. We will expand trade. We have to expand trade. We must trade with the rest of the world. Today we have a huge deficit. We import more than we export. So we have to look very closely at how we support our local companies to export more, because that gives us foreign exchange. It makes us less dependent on minerals alone. But you know, we need to know how much we're getting from the minerals. We need to know. We will publish for you revenues, so you know how much we make. Let me go back to governance. I forgot one thing. We will publish regularly. When we give money to ministries or to contractors, we will publish their names. We will tell you which projects we gave them money for, so you can also check whether they deliver the projects. Because the habit for the last 10 years is, you give the contractor the money, he takes some, he gives to the party, he gives to the guys who gave him the contract, and he doesn't build the structure. It is part of economic management, but it's also part of governance. So you want to know, who did we give the money to build the school? What kind of school? Who did we give the money for the water well? Where was he supposed to do it? So you will also be the economic police. So I talked about diversification, I talked about trade as well, and I talked about the creative industries. Of course, we need cost-effective, and I emphasize, cost-effective value for money energy and infrastructure projects. I emphasize cost-effective value for money. You know what has been happening the last 10 years? We are told that we have a lot of roads. Yes, roadway all side. But the roadway for be 1 million, they make a 4 million. The roadway for be 5 million, they make a 19 million. Who that get the balance? Those of you who are economic students here, you know sometimes when you have a fixed budget, we call it a zero-sum game. Zero-sum game. Those of you in the social sciences, we talk about trade-off. When you do this, something else has to go. We also in economics talk about opportunity cost. When the road for be 500,000 per kilometer, you make a 4 million per kilometer. That balance money for use for build school and toilets, but somebody chopper. So I emphasize value for money. The accounting students will tell you what that means. It's not just to have roads. You can build roads and steal the money. You can build substandard roads. When you leave, we see the potholes after 5 years. Because why? The contracts were not granted properly. It was not meant for the road. It was meant for the chopping. We call it leakages in economics. People create projects so there will be leakages. So there will be leakages. So the objective, I know people in Freetown who claim that they're building roads in Kailaon. One cannot get civil engineering degree, but they're building roads. So the last category, so the last one,